It's vacation time for many people. So the question is, if you're staying at a hotel, is it possible for you to find real food, specifically real whole grains? Just because you're away from home does not mean that you should just be consuming white flour, and some people can't consume white flour. So are we able to find those healthier options even at the simplest of hotels? Hey y'all, welcome back to Grains and Grit. My name is Felicia, and on this channel I teach you all about real whole grains, all from a biblical perspective. I teach you how and why to be milling your own wheat, baking that bread, and more. So it's summertime, and for many of y'all that means there's a lot of traveling going on, but this is also applicable even if it's not summertime and you just have those little getaways that you're going away to. You might be staying at a hotel, or it may not be in a position where you can bring your grain mill or baking bread. Maybe this was a last minute trip, or maybe you just want a break with baking all the things. And so I'm going to be giving y'all some tips, actually walking you through a recent hotel experience that I had to show you that you can find real whole grains even in your simple hotels. Now, we recently did a short little getaway trip back home in the panhandle of Florida, and we were just staying at a typical like 2-star hotel. Nothing crazy fancy, but they actually offered a hot breakfast. So this was something that you have probably seen in many different hotels, and I decided to film while there to show you in real time, kind of bring you along with me of the whole grains that I actually did find, and you may be surprised by what I found. So let's check it out. So here's the lobby of our little hotel that we were in. So first of all, skip the juices, go with water. But as far as we had more than a continental breakfast, it was a hot breakfast. So as you can see here, they actually have scrambled eggs, and next to it was basically fried potatoes. These were actually a good idea because at least it is real food. This is the one I would say skip: the sausage, that white flour biscuit, the white flour gravy. It's just not really going to make you feel good. And then of course I would say skip the waffles, because yeah, that. Now this is something we're going to park it here for a little bit, because even your most simplistic continental breakfast usually have cereals, and I've generally found that they usually have 3 different types of cereal. So like you see here, they usually have like a healthy option, and then like a middle of the road healthy option, and then your full-blown sugary sweet colorful thing for the kids. So if you look all the way to the left here, this is typical of what I see, where it is basically a Raisin Bran. And Raisin Bran actually is not a bad idea, because Raisin Bran really only has 5 ingredients, and whole grain wheat is actually the very first one, and then it even includes wheat bran. Yes, it has some sugar. Yes, this is, more processed than if you were to bake it yourself, but that Raisin Bran is actually a good source of whole grain. In fact, it says that 1 cup is about 6 grams of fiber, 6 or 7 grams of fiber, so really not bad at all. Now, this was also a wonderful surprise because they actually had oatmeal. Yes, it's instant oatmeal. Yes, it has sugar. You can't control what's in it, but it's still oats. Okay, y'all, it's still a good source of whole grains and better than like really sugary cereals. And they had a few different options here. Now, of course, they had fruit. Always go for fruit. That's great. Ignore all of these type of breads. I didn't even bother with those. Now, here's where it's kind of up in the air. They actually had some boiled eggs, which was great, but I did actually skip the yogurts because all of these yogurts had extra sugar into it, and like a lot of extra sugar. So that's kind of a hit or miss. And then of course, don't forget one of the favorite grains of all, and that is coffee. I've done a coffee video. I will link it below, where I actually talk about how it contains great ways where it does help clean out your colon, everything like that. Coffee is a grain, so you definitely want to hang on to this. Just make sure that you avoid really loading it down with sugar. I do recommend that you skip those coffee flavor, like the flavored creamers, and just stick with, like a full sugar and a half and half, which is what they had, or like a whole milk or something like that. Okay, so that's it, y'all. Were you surprised by some of them? I know whenever I actually looked up the ingredients to Raisin Bran, I was actually surprised at how, it's not actually bad of a cereal. I do recommend always, of course, milling your grains fresh. baking that bread, so on and so forth. But sometimes life just happens, y'all, and we need to find the good things where we can. So let me know in the comments below what you like to do when traveling. And for those of you who may be wondering, well, why don't I just either bring my meal or plan ahead to bake bread and bring it with me, or things like muffins or waffles, things like that? No problem. I've got you covered. That's this video up here. So for those of you who actually do have a little bit of planning time and want to bring that bread, which is what I typically do, this is the video I share with y'all, walking you through all that and hopefully giving y'all some ideas. So hopefully this was a helpful video for y'all and that y'all have wonderful vacations wherever you may be. Let us know in the comments below where you plan on going if you are making trips. And as always, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.